they are better. I mean, what you had here is the Democrats in the Senate stood up for once and said, no, we are willing to change the rules if you guys, Republicans, are going to continue to filibuster nominees. There's been an escalation of this. This happened only 2 times each to Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. Obama's already up to 16 times when this happened, and it was particularly troublesome that they were Republicans who were using the confirmation of Richard Cordray. They were going to block that so that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau wouldn't sort of have a chance to operate it. To his great credit, Lindsey Graham, a Republican of South Carolina, said Cordray was being filibustered because we don't like the law. That's not a reason to deny someone their appointment. We were wrong. You don't hear the words "we were wrong" in this city very much.
David Brooks.
Yeah, EJ sees this as a victory for Democratic confrontationalism. I really think it's the opposite. I think what happened was John McCain and Lindsey Graham and some other Republicans said, you know, it's getting a little out of hand. Let's walk back a little. Let's preserve the structure of the institution. Let's do a deal with Chuck Schumer. And it was McCain and Schumer who really did a deal. And so I think some of the more establishment Republicans or maverick Republicans are walking back from some of the extreme confrontationalism of their colleagues.
I give full credit to McCain and Lindsey Graham and others, but I don't think this would have happened if you hadn't had people like Senator Merkley, Senator Udall, and Senator Harkin for some years saying, wait a minute, we've got to do something. They have been saying this is wrong, and finally their work culminated. And to their credit, as I say, some of the Republicans said, yeah, you're right.
I want to save a little bit of time here to talk about another big story this week, and that is the city of Detroit filing for bankruptcy, the largest U.S. city by far to do so, facing debts estimated between $18 and $20 billion. David Brooks, what's the bigger message here?
Well, the foundational principle is if you have a city, be a city. That means have economic diversity, and Detroit lost that. And second, if you're going to be a city, be responsible. They made promises to their pensioners, to their city workers. They simply couldn't keep. And it's the combination of those two things that really led to what we saw today.
And EJ?
Yes, there are pension problems. Yes, there are governance problems. But really, this is free trade, free markets, and the creative destruction that market defenders celebrate. It can actually be destructive. Even free trade advocates say there are, quote, losers from free trade. Detroit is among them, and now it's trying to pick itself up.
And we should mention that there was a ruling from a county circuit court judge today ordering that the bankruptcy filing be withdrawn. She says bankruptcy would be cheating good people who work, and we're going to have more on that coming up in the program. Meantime, thanks to both. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
EJ Dionne of the Washington Post and Brookings Institution, and David Brooks of the New York Times.
You're listening to All Things Considered on WNYC 93.9 FM, AM 820, and WNYC.org. 94 degrees, mostly sunny in Central Park, although it feels like 100 degrees with the humidity.
WNYC receives support from TechServe, offering electronics recycling for computers, cell phones, TVs, and more this Saturday at the College of Staten Island at the Lower East Side Ecology Center's e-waste recycling event. TechServe, make stuff happen. More at techserve.com/recycling. WNYC is giving away 10 copies of the children's book Bedtime Math by Laura Overdeck. Enter to win. Click on giveaways at WNYC.org by 11 tonight and follow the instructions.
Morning. Best time to get a jump on the news. Stories ripple through the day and beyond. Listen to WNYC first thing for the latest developments and in-depth reporting on what lies ahead. We'll unravel the issues and include you in the conversation. Be a morning person. It's never too late to start early. WNYC. Never turn it off.
The excessive heat warning continues from the National Weather Service. Tonight, partly cloudy. It'll be humid with lows in the upper 70s. Tomorrow, Saturday, some sun in the morning, then it starts clouding up with a chance of some ice in the mid-80s. Right now at LaGuardia Airport, 99 degrees and mostly sunny.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Alyssa Long.
And I'm Audie Cornish. In Brazil this week, revelations about excess by government officials fueled street violence in Rio. It's after widespread protests last month, spurred by anger over the behavior of the country's ruling class. Now, a number of politicians are in hot water after pricey travel arrangements became public. Federal prosecutors say that if public funds have been misused, embezzlement charges could follow. And advocacy groups suggest that's just the tip of the iceberg. As NPR's Lourdes Garcia Navarro reports from Sao Paulo. Unlike, let's say, New York's Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who takes the subway to work every day, politicians in Brazil have a far more impressive way of getting around: private helicopters and government planes. Perhaps the most egregious example, say advocates of the trend, is that of Rio de Janeiro's state governor. A recent magazine expose showed that his commute to work is only about 6 miles every day, but even that is apparently too much to drive. Every morning, Sergio Cabral gets up, takes a chauffeured car to his helipad about halfway, and then takes the rest of the trip, about 3 minutes, by chopper. The cost to the taxpayer of that short daily flight, according to the magazine, is $1.7 million a year. He also used his helicopter to ferry his nanny, his dog, and his family on shopping trips and vacations to his country home. When confronted by reporters with the findings, Cabral was unapologetic.
Não sou o primeiro a fazer isso.
I'm not the first to do it. Others in Brazil do it too. And it's okay because of the job I have. I'm not doing anything new. I'm transported with my family, get out of work, and go to my country home.
Indeed, he's not alone. Recent revelations show that the Chamber of Deputies President and Social Security Minister used Brazilian Air Force planes to go to Rio with their families and friends to watch the final match of the Confederations Cup. The Senate President was caught using a Brazilian Air Force jet to go to a wedding in Bahia State. The state governor of Pernambuco was found to have spent over $2 million in the last 18 months alone on private jet rentals. The opposition is demanding an investigation. Here in Brazil's economic capital, Sao Paulo, the uber wealthy turned to helicopters years ago to escape the traffic down below. To get a sense of what these politicians may be experiencing, we went to one of the premier private heliports in Sao Paulo, Felicidade. And it's also one of the busiest. Every day here there are some 200 takeoffs and landings. To keep a helicopter here costs up to $50,000 a month. The actual choppers themselves cost up to $6 million and are tricked out with leather seats and tinted windows. This is considered one of the most luxurious heliports in the world. I'm in the lounge, and a